Welcome to Herf Zone Live, the show that is unlike any other cigar show, where we have the most eclectic lineup of guests of which some smoke cigars and some who don't. Either way, we bring you the best content weekly. Herf Zone Live is sponsored by StogieLives.com. If you're looking for a different type of social media website, one where it's cigar friendly, you don't have to worry about all the politics and so on and so forth. You need to check out www.stogielives.com. And if you look down in the description down below, you'll see that I'm helping to promote a fundraiser that Stogie Press and Ace Prime Cigars are doing, raising money for the people of Jalapa, Nicaragua. And if you want more information, you can check out the article that Boston Jimmy wrote. There's more information, such as pictures and some of the stuff they're doing and updates on the progress there. So you can check that out in the description down below. Well, it's another Tuesday, but this is not just any other Tuesday. This Tuesday is the Great Smoke, the last luau pre-show, not pre-show, but pre-show. It's a little cold here, but without further ado, in a Cigar Hustlers podcast green room, waiting patiently, we have Mr. Honest Abe Dababneh. What's up, brother? I can't hear you. You're muted.
It's that mute button, bro. What's up, Mike?
Chilling, man. So, wow, like
Yeah, you ain't shirtless these days, are you?
not right now, not right now, not right now. But
It's too cold for that.
yep. So it's been about a year since you've been on the show, maybe like a little less. It's been a year. The last Great Smoke you came on the show, and when you were making your rounds. So how's things been since then, bro?
It was an interesting year last year. A lot of hurdles, but cool stuff. And look, the cigar industry is good. I mean, it's really no one's complaining about the cigar industry right now, and the fact that maybe it's product isn't readily available and packaging and boxes and all that kind of stuff. But that's all peripheral stuff. I mean, the community is strong. I think it's growing, and cool projects are being done. People are working together, and I expect even a better year this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, last year we had the Great Smoke, the digital experience, the first time that, this was digital. And we're going to get right in. We'll talk about other stuff later, but I'm going to get right into the Great Smoke because it's such an exciting topic. So, the digital experience, I was there, not in person, but I was at the Boynton shop. I got to experience that. And you guys did a phenomenal job, first of all. It was, off the chain. Like, was it better? Did it come out better than you expected? Because to me, it was better than what I was expecting.
No, it's never as good as I expected. I think that's going to be a characteristic of anybody who really, tackles big projects and objects, big projects and functions and events like that. Because in your head, you always have things the way they're going to go. So there was things that you always sit back and look afterwards. We should have done it like this. We should have done it like that. And that's what you do when you critically thinking about an event. But I knew that it would be better than almost anybody expected because something like that had never been done before. So what I was envisioning, just talking to people who participated and was involved, whether it's a manufacturer or a vendor, I could see the confusion in their face. Like, so you're doing 7.5 hours broadcast live, and who's going to watch that? And so I knew going into something like this, and anytime you do it first time, right? Even the first Great Smoke 16 years ago, I remember when I was talking to manufacturers, they were like, "What? You want to bring like 30 different companies and whatever?" And it says, "Who's going to come to that?" I mean, so, and I knew a lot of them didn't quite see what we were going to do and why we would be different. And 16 years later, here we go. We're still going strong. So I knew it would be better than what most people expected. But for us, our standards are always, we could always make it better. That's the way we look at anything. So, and especially the successful stuff, because you want to continue to be successful. It's really easy to look at something that flopped or failed and say, how do you make it better? Because there's typically all the reasons stand out, right? It's when something's really successful that it's a lot harder to say, how do we make this better now? So that's really the more challenging part, but that's how we look at things and attack things. So, which you did again this year, because
Yeah.
this live and virtual at the same time kind of thing is a whole different monstrosity than anything we've done before. I think it's ever been done before by anybody.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let me ask you this here. Do you try to one up yourself every single year? And I mean, like, not just like one upping is, just making it better, but like, are you trying to give yourself a stroke? Because it seems like just every year it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and better and better. And I know that takes a toll on you as well, but you don't care. Like, it's like when it's all said and done, you just, you put, you just keep making it bigger. So,
Well, I think that's the goal of any successful event. How do you make it bigger or better? And with projects of this magnitude, it's always stressful. I mean, like my wife literally knows. She like doesn't even. She tries to steer clear away from me for the whole month of January and February. I mean, and my friends don't bother me. They don't call me. They just know this time of year for us. So it's always stressful. But this year in particular was probably the worst year in 16 years. We've had a lot of unexpected obstacles to overcome. Um, this second round of the virus has come around, and we lost a lot of staff for long, in the last month or two, for a week or two. Many people got it. Thank God, all had milder versions, nothing serious. But you lose an employee for a week or two, and we lost a lot of people. Our
yeah.
head web guy has been seriously sick, not even COVID related, but he's been in the hospital for the last 3 weeks. And this is the head guy who runs basically all our website and virtual stuff and project stuff. So then we had the fairgrounds move our not the location where we're having the event, but
Yeah.
just on the premises where we're having the event. So we literally had to redo logistics and floor plans that we had in place for 5 years. And manufacturers. I mean, this has like been the worst year ever to deal with manufacturers. I mean, there's a lot of new. This is the first year ever in 16 years we limited any manufacturer to one table. Because for many years, companies like Altadis, who have a plethora of brands, Drew Estate, Davidoff, even Perdomo, they would always take two tables. They feature two different brands.
Yeah.
But because of our warehouse now and our fulfillment center and all the new companies we were working with, we had a lot of new companies we wanted to invite. So this is the first year ever that we only limited everybody to one booth, one table per company. And it's been kind of interesting because now guys who have been doing this every year, it's the first year for them. And even though companies have been doing this, most of them have been doing it for now every year for 16 years, and they've committed to this event 6 months ago. A lot of them had really hard time getting us product in time, stuff on time. A lot of them are struggling for us to even have product the day of the event. I mean, it's a whole pool of stuff that is out of the ordinary that it's making this year extraordinarily challenging.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I heard you describe, the way it's going to be virtual and in person is kind of like a New Year's Rockin' Eve type thing. It's you're going to have like a certain area set up, and then, so tell us about that new dynamic with, the virtual and in person this
So
year.
So as far as there, I think I looked yesterday, and I think there's literally, I'm not even exaggerating, less than 20 virtual tickets left. And when they're gone, they're gone. There won't be another. We put up another extra batch at the beginning of January because we sold out so early. But when that batch is gone, it's going to be gone. And I predict probably this weekend, they'll be gone. So one of the things was to incorporate a virtual component. We allocate a certain number of tickets because we only have so many packages available of stuff we got.
Yeah.
So a certain figure is going to be virtual. So there will be a little mini studio, nothing like we had last year, that'll be on site, which will basically be almost like a one-on-one setting with Michael Herklotz and whoever he's interviewing at the time and stuff like that. And the people at home, Michael Herklotz will be hosting the people at home. So they're going to get like 5 or 6 different intimate interviews. But then Michael will be corresponding with one, Kim Keeney, who's returning from last year, phenomenal young lady in this industry and very
Yes.
talented, and our KMA's very own Paul DeGracco. So they're going to be what we call our floor correspondents. So Mike will be interacting while Mike is in the studio most of the event. He'll be interacting with two of our correspondents on the floor, and and they'll be kind of transmitting to people at home what's going on at the floor at the time, whether it be, you know, the fire dancers or the drum players or the hula girls, or they may just interview some of the manufacturers, the key manufacturers, just do quick little interviews with them, maybe talk to some of the people in crowd. There's gonna be stuff going on throughout the day.
Nice, nice. So, so you said that I saw in another video or interview, but there's going to be like a volcano and stuff like that, and two volcanoes.
Two.
So, what's that like? Like, is that being built from like scratch, like
Rentals.
or
Believe it or not,
rentals?
they have volcanoes, man. They have
Oh wow,
volcanoes. Rentals. There's, you know, a Polynesian Hawaiian theme is a big thing. So there were rentals available. We got two volcanoes coming. Look, this year by far, look, the party pack, which is basically what you get when you buy your Great Smoke ticket, is the most epic pack we've had in 16 years. It's literally like over 450, maybe $480 worth of stuff that you get for 165 bucks. The 40 cigars alone are probably 360 or $80 worth of cigars. Being at the party pack is probably the best it's ever been, with the swag and the cigars and the value. The same amount of probably epicness is going into the production of this year, being that we missed last year. We want everybody to come and just be blown away. I mean, when I do something like this, when we do production, my goal is like for the next 30 days, that's all anybody's talking about.
yeah,
To everybody. And if you didn't make it, you'll feel like, man, did I miss something? And that's how we build on it, because that's the response we want everybody to have. This event started out with 300 people. But
yeah,
every year we did it where those 300 went home, told 5, 6 of their friends, and came back with 1 or 2 friends. And next year we had 500. Then we had 800. You know, that's your goal. So our goal this year, really, especially having the off year last year, is we really want everybody just can't stop talking about this for at least a month after the event. And hopefully they'll come back next year with a couple more of their friends.
yes, definitely. And that's kind of how it was with me. You know, when I first started going, like what 3 years ago now, 3 4 years ago, yeah, 3 years ago. It just was, it was my first time going. I was like, after going, I'm like, listen, forget other events. I'm exclusively going to the Great Smoke. It's easiest for me to get to. It's economical. Like you know, it's right here in Florida. Not even 2 hours away. So you might as well. So
And
um, and
value.
value. Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's what I mean. Economical
Yeah.
value.
It's one of the things that we try to incorporate in everything we try to do. We want it to be a value, right? I mean, you know, I'm not a firm believer in overpaying for stuff. I'm not a firm believer in paying interest if I don't have to. And, you know, I don't see it any other way for our consumers. So without a doubt, it's a tremendous value, but the value gets you there. The experience is what keeps you coming back. And that's always
Yeah.
been our goal. We've been a very experienced, driven mindset when we put these events together. And it's extra complicated this year. It's extra hard, but you know, we're going to do what we have to do. We got to pull it off. I mean, we were supposed to pack the virtual packs this week, and we didn't, because we're literally waiting on a product that's supposed to come from somebody else that was supposed to be here January 15th.
Oh
So,
man.
I mean, this is just the world we live in today.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be here tomorrow, and the delivery guy just sent me a text about an hour ago showing that it says delayed now, so it's Thursday. So now it gets supposed to be last week. Now it was Wednesday. Now it's Thursday. I mean, it's just a constant battle, and it's not a battle that we would normally have to endure for
Yeah.
prior years. This is a post-COVID world now with post-COVID battles that are just brutal.
Oh yeah. And one thing I'm looking forward to about the Great Smoke is, that's all I've been talking about. But you gave me the green light and permission to start off the pre-parties, so it's going to be the official, unofficial pre-party. So, I got a lot of stuff planned for that. Well, not a whole lot, but I got Smoking's official DJ, Smooth Bounce Entertainment,
Let
and
me tell you something. That guy's working Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday at the event. I think he's working the Sunday brunch. I mean, that guy is just putting in a 5-day work week for the Great Smoke.
Yeah, and and I mean, he always makes sure everybody has a good time. Like, and you could tell, like, he's working, but he's having a good time too. Like,
Well, Mike
he's not
says,
just the DJ; he's like a part of the community.
yeah, he started out as our DJ, but he has without a doubt become fully immersed and enveloped in our culture and community. He's a smoking socialite, part of our private smoking
Yeah,
Facebook group. And he has just become, it's so much more awesome when you have to deal with somebody who's an outside vendor or something, whether it's a DJ and they're within your community, man. They have such a deeper appreciation. The effort and what they're trying to do for you is just on 10
yep,
because he's not just hired to be a DJ now. He knows half the people coming intimately.
yep,
They're his buddies, man. He wants to rock the house. So we love working with Kyle. And it's gonna be
absolutely,
it's gonna be an epic year. And listen, man, when you ask me about your event, look, more parties, more better. That's how we look at it. So you're
exactly.
in fact, your part of the event is the easiest thing about the whole Great Smoke for me because I didn't have to do anything other than say okay.
Exactly, and the format of my party is really like, it's not that hard for me either. Like, literally, I just got the DJ. I found, and Rockefeller Cigars is sponsoring the music. So, and I wanted, I know you guys just brought them in, so that's why I like made sure that um that, yeah, that you can make sure there's some product in house so that we can promote them and get people smoking Rockefeller and all that. And I'm excited about it for sure. So that Wednesday night at the West Palm Smoke-In is where the party's gonna be at.
My
So,
wife, oh wait, my wife just came home. Show him this t-shirt. Come here.
hey, Miss Brandy, how you doing?
Show this, Mike. Hello. Look at his t-shirt. How about that? That's for you, Evan Darnell, Commander in Chief.
All right,
There you
hold
go.
on 1 second here. We got the GOAT joining the party
There you go.
finally.
Everybody's here.
Sorry, I'm late. Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, no, no problem, bro. Like, when I didn't see you in the beginning, I was like, "Yo, is he still coming through?" He said, "Both of us, motherfucker." So, Alex, man, like, are you excited about the Great Smoke? I know you're probably putting in a shit ton of work
Are you excited?
getting prepared.
Um, I am excited. I am excited. Right now, I'm in like super work mode, so it's hard. It's hard to get like excited for what's going to be, but there is something special about making it happen behind the scenes because then you get to watch all your work come to fruition. And you're like,
Yeah,
It's like magic.
I mean, really, at the end of like for last year, at the end of the last year, it was a great moment, but it was also a moment of like, wow, we pulled this off, we did this. So you kind of get to do that when you get to put the work in with it as well.
absolutely. Now, what is your role in the planning of the Great Smoke for everybody out there who may not know, and
I
just
want
to
to hear this.
Marketing and solutions director, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever that entails.
he's the official problem solver.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there really is no role, and that's what's great about the team, including Abe,
yeah.
because whatever needs to be done, whoever has the capabilities and is available to do it will jump on it and do it, including Abe.
Oh yeah,
So it's full team effort, whatever needs to be done. I'm getting the store ready. The guy behind me is working on graphics. Guys are here late. Guys are here early. Guys are coming on the weekends. Stuff that may not normally be what we do day to day. Doesn't matter. If I can do it, if he can do it, let's do it. Let's get it done.
absolutely,
Did,
absolutely.
did we get here
I
yet?
mean, listen, there are some tasks that I literally would say, this is your task. Because they're the best one to do it, better than me, better than anybody else. That's I know you could do this better than anybody here, so I need you to do this. And everybody jumps on board. It's a great team effort. And there is something extremely cathartic and magical when you do stuff like this and put it together and you see it all roll out at the end. And I just think as a human being, anytime you could touch, thousands of people's lives at one time, it sticks with you forever. It doesn't really leave, man. It's a real magical thing. And I think that's why a lot of, especially the guys who, I mean, there's a lot of people on this team who put in effort and some work here and there, never really get to be part of it because we have other parts of our operation that exist beyond the Great Smoke that need to churn and burn every day. But
Hmm.
the people who work deeply and are deeply involved in it and get to see it all come out, man. And I think that's why every year they accept the challenge of the work because they felt that awesomeness when they see it all unfold out. And I think that's why I keep doing it every year, because it really is a torturous thing for us every year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, aside, we just talked about my party to start off the pre-parties, the
The
great smoke
unofficial
and
start of
everything.
the smoke.
The
Yeah,
unofficial. official.
yeah, and then Alex said I have to be shirtless. Like the goat made it official. This was back in October.
I
He
just
says I
how do you
have to
have
be.
you can't have a shirtless Mike birthday party and have a shirt on.
It's gonna be February, bro.
Hey,
Ooh.
you know what? I mean, chances are 50-50. We'll see how the weather is. If the weather's a little chilly, I'll just stay inside. I won't go out to the back
I might just keep a Hawaiian
patio.
shirt in the trunk just in case.
I mean,
Yeah,
listen, honestly though,
I'll come wearing a shirt, and then at a certain point when the first song comes on, I'm just gonna
when the first drink goes down. But I mean, I think your odds are good because we have our week of winter is going on like right now. So,
Like literally is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it can only go up from here, freezing.
Oh yeah. So
It was warmer in Anchorage than in some parts of Anchorage than it was in South Florida this morning for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah, the other morning too. Yeah, I seen people posting about that. It was the same thing the other morning.
Maybe it was
like,
the other morning. Yeah, I saw it somewhere. Fact.
It was like Monday morning. I was up in the middle of the night because I took a nap on my day off and couldn't sleep, and it got down to 35 degrees and by like 4 a.m. and I was like, okay, let me go inside before I freeze to death.
I was telling them earlier before you hopped on, Alex. I think we're like down to under 20 virtual tickets. I mean, I predict it was going to be over by the end of this week, probably.
I think it still will be. Yeah. It's very few. We had one of the shirts go out of stock last night, and it was like because every time a shirt goes out of stock, I got to pull from another
right.
Because
right. If we have like 30 tickets left, then there might be 6 of this and 7 of this, and then we get a notification that one of the shirt sizes went out of stock, so we see what we have the most of, and we'll take 2 out of that and put it in that one. So, and it's just a little battle, and that's why I said we'll never do shirts again. I said it in one of the other podcasts again. People don't understand the logistical nightmare of getting people their size and orders they're going to come pick up or worship out. So this will be the last year this will be a collector's item. It'll be the last year where we will send out a Great Smoke T-shirt with every ticket. We'll switch it out for something else, but we won't do.
It'll be something cool.
Anything size coordinated. No way.
Yeah. I mean, it was a freaking good deal even without this shirt, but adding the shirt's like, whoa, but I understand,
we've never included shirts or hats for general admission people ever. I think maybe 1 or 2 years VIP guys got hats, but we've never included hats or shirts. It was always something that we sold ancillarily at the event. But when we did the digital experience, there wasn't going to be people there wearing it. And because it was such a pivotal year and something we never done, we said it'd just be cool. We included it for this year, and we did it for the digital experience. And it was so cool to see everybody on Facebook, like for weeks, wearing their hats. I mean, even today, I still see people wearing their digital experience hats and shirts. So we wanted to incorporate it this year, but the logistics required to do it is just brutal. We'll probably continue to include hats and then sub out shirts or something else for next year.
Yeah, definitely. And so moving on here, we've talked about my party. We're talking about the other pre-parties. Is it the same thing? Espinosa Thursday, Rocky Patel Friday type thing?
I think it's the Alec Bradley Boys Thursday.
Oh, okay. So it's switched up this year then.
We always try to switch it up. Rocky kind of likes to lock that Friday night down every year. And until somebody really wrestles for it, I'll let him have it. He's the first guy. He literally tells me at the event this year, we want to do this next year. So he locks it like the earliest, but not many manufacturers really kind of fight for that kind of stuff. So we're just happy that people want to do it. But I think we got Alec Bradley Thursday night in West Palm.
Right.
And these are all free events to the public, just in celebration of what's going on for the Great Smoke. So we got Alec Bradley Thursday night in West Palm, Rocky Friday in Boynton Beach, Robert Caldwell Saturday night after the main event in West Palm, and then there'll be another party at Spearmint Rhino with Scott Weeks of Recluse Cigars going on at the same time. So if you want to go to the Rhino, you can go there. If that's not your shtick, you can go to West Palm. We're gonna have a nice event with Robert Caldwell, And then Sunday we have a brunch. Who's hosting the brunch? I forgot this year.
Rainier, HVC.
Oh yeah, very new to the Great Smoke. Rainier HVC. That's gonna be a great brunch. And then Friday night, while the Rocky Patel party is going on in Boynton, we have the mega Red Meat Lovers Club dinner. Now that's a ticketed event. So
Yep, I got my ticket.
Yeah, there's two. I mean, you've been to one, so you know the value.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an epic event. So there's two other major ticketed functions: is the VIP dinner Friday night, and then the brunch, which I think is only a $35 ticket. The Sunday morning, just kind of an end cap, good way to end your weekend. But the dinner, which is hosted by the Red Meat Lovers Club, catered by the Potions in Motion guys, has been epic. And every function I've ever gone, they put together has been pretty much epic. Completely, as far as food and quality of food and amounts of food, unbelievable. Our host this year, Steve Saka. So included in that ticket price is, I think, about $45 worth of cigars, 2 of his regular production cigars, and he's including a beef stick. I think they're calling it meat stick, beef stick. A beef stick, which is a RML Red Meat Lovers Club blend, but in this unique size that he made called the beef stick. So everybody at that dinner will get a 3-pack of those cigars included with the meal and the dinner and everything that Friday night. And there are a few tickets of those still available. I think there might be a few brunch tickets still left too.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I'm excited for, of course, the actual event, but the Friday night, the Red Meat Lovers Club dinner, I got my ticket for Christmas. Actually, later on, like after the show, my mom, she bought the ticket, but it's in her name. She didn't put my name, so I have to have that fixed. But
consider it done. You know.
But I mean, I told her, I said, hey, I know a guy. I know a guy. Don't worry about it.
All right, you got the ticket. As long as you have the ticket, you're good.
Listen, if anybody can Google any of the highlight footage from the 2020 Great Smoke, Shirtless Mike has one of the best scenes at the Red Meat Lovers Club dinner.
I was like this.
No, you were like this. The camera was panning. The wind blew in your hair.
Yeah,
dude,
it was like, shirtless.
Yeah, it was like movie style quality.
My chest was poking out.
Yeah, it was like movie style quality. It's probably one of the best scenes in any of our promo pieces. It's classic.
Yeah, definitely. And I knew the camera guy, so I was like, hey, make sure I get a shot.
It was cool. Hi, Kate here.
Are you here? Want me to Google it real quick, or YouTube it? All right, because you can share it on here. So,
I mean, he's in the long version, but there was just there was just a dinner video that we made a shorter version, and he was in it. Man, it was great. Classic Shirtless Mike with a shirt on though.
Yeah, but this year, I mean, I'm at the level now where I don't even, I was already okay. Hold on one second. We're gonna play this.
I got it. Let me know when you got it up. You in there?
Yeah.
It's right at the 20-second mark. It breezes through. Look at him.
Look at that.
Hold on. Run it back real quick.
Run that back.
That's classic. I'm telling you couldn't have done it better in Hollywood.
Ooh, look at that.
Look at that piece.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to top that this year, which I will. So yeah, I'm gonna wear a regular outfit. I gotta still shop for my outfit, but when that first drink and that first song comes on, I'm gonna take the shirt off.
Dude, that's hilarious. Gary Brooks' comment. We'll know it's him. The ticket will say "Shirtless Mom." That's hilarious.
Wow, that's hilarious. So, let's talk a little bit about some more smoke in stuff. Like, you guys, this year, the end of last year, throughout last year, you guys got your warehouse now. Like, how's that going? I had a chance to tour it.
Before we hit the Great Smoke stuff, I just want to remind all your listeners, because tomorrow we have a big drop. It's our 4th. So one of the cool things we did in the digital experience was, because like I said, in my mind, I said, people are not going to understand this event. I have to find ways to make this uber exciting so people got involved. So one of the things that we did for the first time that we hadn't done in the 14 years prior was we went out to manufacturers and asked them, will you make a special cigar for the Great Smoke? And we were blessed to have some incredible cigars made for us by Saka, Aganorsa, Carlito, Rocky, Perdomo, and they all sold out. I mean, they Pete Johnson, they all sold out. So it was one of the things we reincorporated. So we had 5 manufacturers make us limited releases. We had Aganorsa come back who made a very special size of the anniversary of Maduro. Steve was our second release with what he called a DT&T EX78, which uses a wrapper that he can't talk about, which is for some major future project that's going to come out a year and a half ago. But everybody who seems to have smoked it, they've landed, seem to have loved it very much. Our third release was Diet Sarsaparilla, a Connecticut version of the very famous sarsaparilla cigars made by Espinosa Cigars for the dojo community. So that was very exciting. And then tomorrow's our fourth, but not final. We have one more after this. But tomorrow's our fourth release. This one's a little bit more near and dear to me because we had been talking about this, Matt Booth and I, for literally 6 years. And we were going to do it in tribute of our first micro blend that we did with him called Big Delicious, because we had two boys. So it finally came to fruition. And tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you have a ticket, Great Smoke, whether it's virtual or whether it's live, once you buy a ticket for the Great Smoke, you have access to the special store, the TGS store. And these are going to drop tomorrow. And Alex, you have the box there, yeah? Yeah, there it is. LBD, Little Big Delicious. This is a minier version, smaller version of the original Big Delicious cigar. It's a box pressed little torpedo with a closed foot. And as you can see, we've smoked some of them already because we
have smoked some of them
because they are pretty badass.
They are excellent.
And Matt gave us the final blend to try when we were at the trade show. I bought him back from the PCA last year, and Alex and I let him sit for a week or two because I traveled and sitting in Vegas dry heat.
Yeah.
With him for like a couple weeks until we smoked them, and we knew this was going to be a winner. So these drop tomorrow. 300 boxes were made, and it'll go.
What are they, Abe?
Was it?
What are they?
Little Big Delicious. Oh yeah, they're super duper limited, as Matt Booth was only said. Super duper limited.
But it's funny. These actually are super duper limited compared to the other releases because there's only 300 of these.
Yes.
As opposed to the 500 that we released of the other ones. So these may go a little quicker. There's only 300 to go around.
Yes. So, and they'll drop. We're doing a live event with broadcast with Matt Booth tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And during that event, we'll open it up in the store and people will start buying them. So, since we were started out with the Great Smoke, I didn't want to.
Oh yeah, and it was my fault. See, that's why I normally have notes because I'm freestyling tonight. Because I was like, we're all cool with each other. I don't need too much.
It's
notes.
Cool, bro. I'm here to help you out. I knew where we were going, so I didn't want to miss it. So I think that pretty much covers every aspect of what's left, coming up with the Great Smoke, other than our final TGS limited release, which will be on February. I gotta look it up, but it's sometime the first week of February, I believe.
Let's see.
And that's a special project that we did with Henderson Ventura that we won't talk about until after the Matt Booth release tomorrow. So probably at the end of this week.
February 9th.
Same time, February 9th.
My dad's birthday.
Yep. And then that pretty much covers everything. If anybody has questions for the Great Smoke, just reach out to us here. We'll be happy to answer you. But it's pretty cool, pretty self-explanatory this week. So now, Mike, you had other questions. Sorry.
Well, we'll keep it Great Smoke for right now. So, make sure you go to thegreatsmoke.com. You can see what's coming, what you're going to get with your ticket price for virtual and in person, all that good stuff. It's going to answer any further questions. We got to the most important stuff now. So yeah, tell us like a little bit about how the warehouse is going. I was privileged to be able to tour and see it in person. From what I understand, you're pretty much filled up now, aren't you? How's that going?
It's at capacity. It's filled up faster than we expected, and but it's facilitated our ability to offer way more brands to our many fans and patrons and aficionados all over the country. We brought in tons of new brands, and that was one of the problems we had with the Great Smoke this year. There's so many new companies, we really had to limit the number of booths. And so it's increased, and also our ability to get packages out as fast as we were before. The streamline of the automation, whatever, our packages are getting out the door faster than ever, unless there's a mistake somewhere. And the real-time inventory, which, I mean, for the most part, outside of some glitches, Alex, I think it's about 96 to 98% accurate.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that means if it's on the site, we have it in-house. We don't have to wait. We don't have to try and grab it from another store because that's what we used to do. We have 5 locations, so our inventory was in our stores. So you may order something, and it may take a day or two for us to pull it from our Port St. Lucie store. Have to get it down here. Now everything's in house. But where you really see, and that's what I was going to say, is the speed of getting packages out. Where we really see that is during our sales. We used to do sales, and you get hundreds. I mean, 300, 400, 500 orders in a couple days, 2-3 days. We would have half our lounge literally taken over,
and it would take some time.
It would take
a week and a half sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Now, these guys are hammering out full 3-day sales in 2, 3, 4 days. Everything's out the door. There's nothing left. Everybody's package is on the way. So you really see it where they can handle that high capacity. That was just, we did it, but it was not optimal for us before.
The problem is, Mike, is we outgrew how we were shipping. Having stores, shipping from a store. So we're using the whole inventory of cigars spread out in 5 different locations. And, unless we knew a manufacturer's had a problem, because we're in South Florida. So if I order something today, typically it's here in a day, 2 days, tops, right? So unless we knew there was a major problem or something was on back order with no window, everything on the site was just always as much, just on. So we would get orders and we're like, oh, we don't have it at the store. So then one guy had to go and call the other stores, see where product, this was coming down from Port St. Lucie, this was coming down from West Palm. And, we had 2 people who that's what they spent all day doing, chasing down product at which store it's in and getting it to Boynton to ship out. So those days are over. I mean, thank God. Those were brutal days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, now what do those guys do that chase down the product?
They got
their regular job.
Yeah, they got other stuff to do. I mean, literally, one of them was my operations guy, who's supposed to be ahead of all of my operations and what's going on, and that's what he spent time doing. And there were times where I would jump on the floor, and there was like a week or 2 where I was doing it, and I'm calling up customer service. Hey, we don't have this size, because and the manufacturer said they don't know when they'll have it in, because that's the worst thing. This normally wasn't a problem before COVID.
Yeah,
because even if we didn't have it on the site, we'd call the manufacturer in Miami, but the next day it was there, right? Yep. Post-COVID, big problem. Nobody had nothing. So if we didn't have it, chances are we call manufacturer, they didn't have it either. And then we're trying to chase consumers down. Hey, you'd be surprised. I'd say the probability of me calling a consumer anytime during normal business hours and they actually answer the phone is less than 10%. I just learned that those 2 weeks of calling people up. Because I'm like, hey, Mr. And I'll be like, this is Abe. Like, Abe? Yeah, I'm calling. But you ordered a box of Robustos. They don't have Robustos. Can I sub it with another size or whatever? And sometimes they said, yeah, no problem. Sometimes they say, no, I want a refund. And we give them their money back. But that's what we ended up, like 2-3 guys doing all day. So the warehouse is really, man, that universe will never be something that hopefully we ever have to live through again.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. I got a quick story. I actually I had a little shipping moment today. I ordered another chessboard on Friday, right? Small one. So anyway, I ordered a chessboard, and I see this morning that it shipped, right? But I noticed that they shipped it out USPS, but I paid for UPS, right? So I called them and I'm like, hey, listen, just let you know, blah blah blah. You shipped it the wrong day, and they were ready to refund me. But I looked and I said, well, listen, I kind of do shipping for a living. I noticed that, the label was created at like 8:30 last night. So there's probably a good chance it didn't get picked up yet and it's still in your facility. You can probably just go and cancel it. He was like, oh, wow, that's great. Yeah, actually it was. And sure enough. I just, I know at 8:30 nothing's going out. I do this. So my shipping expertise came in handy on a personal level.
Absolutely. Your job.
Yeah, it's always helpful if you know kind of like how stuff usually works. You could just be like, yo, this is what's happening.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you printed that label at 8:30. That's still sitting in your facility.
Well, here's a perfect example. Now it's my turn to interview you, right? You now work in a cigar shop, yeah?
Yep.
Right.
First job in a cigar shop?
Yep.
How has your perspective changed from a consumer to being a guy on the other side of the curtain?
Oh, it's changed drastically because I wear many hats. I do the social media, run the email list. I deal with customer relations, try to build relationships because went from being a small little shop in the mall to a 5,000 square foot lounge. So, I'm just working on, me being me. I get paid to be me and just, interact with people. And so I do a lot of stuff. And, it's definitely it's a change of pace, and I think working for you would be a little bit more intense, but my boss is pretty intense. And so I always put that in perspective. But like whenever I have those intense days, I'm like, it's probably, I just think, what would the goat do?
I mean, look, I'm without a doubt more intense. I'll say that about anybody because the odds are I probably am. But it's not just that, Mike. It's just that we have so much more going on than a typical shop does. I mean,
Yeah,
I've hired a handful. I mean, maybe 4 or 5 people over the years who came from other shops. And like I just tried to explain to them. I said, whatever it is you thought you were doing, it's not what you'll be doing here. I mean, you'll be doing some of that, but it's
yeah,
like 10 times more in other stuff.
yeah,
You know, we'll receive in one day what you might have received in 2 weeks. You
yeah,
know, and a lot of them rose to the challenge, and a lot of them were like got in shock and couldn't take it. It's a different, but we were that shop. I
yeah,
was that 900 square foot store, so I've seen it change along the way. That's why I understand the differences. I'm not talking out of school where it's something I don't know. Yeah, I lived that life. I know what the 900 square foot store was, the 1600 square foot store was, now the 500 square foot, headquarters is. I've seen it all in between.
yeah. Yeah, ours is 5,000 square foot. So, we got a
That's a big
private
store.
lounge,
Big
That's
store.
a big
private
store.
lounge, decent sized humidor. We got a coffee area. We got, a bar, beer and wine. We got wine based liquors where, we could do different cocktails with that because a liquor license is super expensive. But we found out about the wine based liquors.
Well, yeah, I know, but it tastes weird. What county are you in?
Brevard County,
Brevard. Yeah. What do you know what the liquor licenses are going on over in Brevard?
like half a mil.
Oh God, is it that much?
Yeah.
Where's Brevard County? Was that Daytona?
No, it's close to Orange County. It's like the next county over from
That's
Orange
probably
County.
why, man. That's a big liquor license.
Yeah, definitely.
No,
But I mean, the
I
wine-based
don't even
liquors
know
taste
what
good though.
promo
I can't
is.
taste the difference.
Is it
Um,
really? Because one of our satellite stores in Wellington, they had beer and wine because it's a completely different license and easy to get. And they did the wine-based liquors, and I tried it once. This was maybe like 5 years ago, maybe it's gotten better, but it was like, ugh.
I mean, it tastes good to me. I'm not as big of a drinker as I used to be. Like when I drink, and then I don't drink for like however long whatever. I can either take it or leave it. So I was Melanie Cisco. She was in town. We hired her to do to help from and just help host our 1 year anniversary last Friday and the new shop. And so she came on this show, but she was having Wi-Fi problems, so we got started a little bit late, and I was drinking a old fashioned that our bartender made, and I mean it was good. And he also made a um, Long Island iced tea, and it tasted good. Like I couldn't really too much taste the difference like that. It had some good flavor to it. Went good with my cigar.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
That's
Just
all
Yeah.
that
working
matters.
on it.
Oh yeah, but I mean, yeah, my perspective has changed a lot, and it's helping me grow because my boss is very meticulous, like very meticulous. So like he'll come in and he'll be like, oh, this in the display case is not straight. I need you to straighten that up. And I try to look for those things before he has a chance to point it out. Like I'll walk in the humidor if I notice boxes on the top are cockeyed. He's like, no, these need to be straight. So I try to climb up on the little stool and you know, and straighten all that out. And
Should be a flat wall.
yeah,
That's from my grocery store days. If you ever look, grocery stores are probably one of the most best merchandise places you'll ever see. That's where I got it from, the grocery store days, man.
yeah, definitely. I mean, we don't have boxes stacked as high as your humidor, where AJ was doing the whole thing in that video. We don't have any of that, but we decent. It's decent back stock on stuff whenever we have back stock on certain stuff. Some stuff doesn't sell that well, so we don't have a lot of back stock. We just keep it on the shelf. But
Well, you know the rule, right?
no, what's the rule? I mean, I probably do, but
The rule typically is 80% of your revenue is made by 20% of your products.
Hmm. Okay.
That's
Here's
just
the thing, and I used to tell my guys when I managed the West Palm store all the time, it's the job is really just a series of small things that
Yeah.
add up into a big thing. And it's the little things like the boxes looking nice and being lined up on top, the cigars not splattered around all over the place in the box. Those bunch of little things create the big experience for the customer.
Oh yeah.
it's always the small details. I yell that all the time because the big listen to me, it's like a painting. The big brush strokes are easy. It's easy to take the big thick brush and paint blue for sky, right? But it's when you get the thin brushes is where all the details are. That's how you make the clouds. That's how you make the sun rays. It's always the thin, small strokes, the small details that really accentuate a picture. Alex will tell you how many mornings I'll come in, I'll go livid because the bathroom's dirty, right? I mean, it's just
Oh
a
yeah.
bathroom, man. But I'm a bathroom stickler. Bathroom
Oh
should be
yeah.
clean. I go into a restaurant, I see a nasty bathroom, I swear I walk out. Because in my mind, it tells me the guy
Just
who
to get
owns
you.
this establishment, yeah, the guy who owns this establishment knows that everybody walking through the door could see how his bathroom looks like. And if he doesn't care that people see his bathroom like this, what the heck is going on back in the kitchen? I'll walk out if it's
Yep.
nasty. I mean, if a sink's a little old or whatever, yeah, that's fine. But you could tell the difference between old wear and tear and
Yeah.
just gross, nasty filth.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
that's one thing, because I close 2 nights a week, so I make sure the bathrooms are good because got to make sure they look good, and it's part of the experience, as you said.
Listen,
So
I had one guy. He's like my hero in this area. He literally would close the shop and he would fold the toilet papers in the triangle, like when you go to a hotel and it's just ready to be used, where it's full. I'm like, this guy's awesome. What I mean? There's a guy who gets it, man, because no one cares whether it's folded up in a triangle, but a customer walks in and sees it, like, oh, it's just always the details.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll tell you what's a hard skill that you really have to be conscious of. It's very hard, and you have to make yourself pay attention to the small details that are out of place, because especially when you're working in one place and you're working there every day.
Yep.
For me, I would put in like 50, 60 hours. So half the time I wasn't even on the clock, but I would still be there at the shop. But when you're in the same place looking at the same things, sometimes it's easy to overlook something because you just get so used to it because you just see it that way every day. Like countless times Abe would come in, who wouldn't always be in West Palm, and he's like, you don't notice that light is dimmer than the rest? And no, I don't notice. I'm just so used to it because I see the same light every day. But Abe only walking in once in a while is the same as a customer who only walks in once in a while is going to notice that. So it's hard you got to train yourself. Like, let me really take a look, because it's easy to kind of miss things because it's just the same thing that I see every day. I kind of get used to it. But then once somebody like him points it out, now I can't unsee it, and it'll drive me nuts like it drives anybody else nuts.
Oh yeah,
Alex,
I'm becoming like that too.
Alex will tell you, man, like if he wasn't there and I just dropped in out of the blue, whatever, like the text will just, what's this? What's that? Blah, 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 blah. I know they hate it whenever but like I can't help not seeing it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a time where I ever walk from my office to the bathroom where I won't point out 2 or 3 things that need to be done. Whether it's the music's not up, where it's just, I'm always on 10 like that, because like I walk out and I'm like, this sounds like a graveyard in here. How are my consumers sitting in here? And I'll have to tell you,
That's my biggest pet peeve. That's
my biggest pet peeve.
When I can hear the smoke eaters over the music, it drives me nuts.
That silence for me is deafening. I don't know how they don't notice it right away. You just need a little background noise. It doesn't got to be loud. It's just got to set a mood, man, because that's what the cigar shop should be, set a mood. And I will walk out and I can barely hear it. And it probably at least 3 to 4 times a week, I'll have that conversation with somebody. And it's like deafening. It's the first thing I notice when I walk in. It's a graveyard in here, man. Turn it up. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Now, last thing here. So you just had your 50th birthday, Abe. So how was that? You just celebrated your 50th birthday, and it looked to be like a phenomenal event. Tell us about how that it went for you, and all that good stuff.
It was a beautiful night, man. It really was. My wife and Stephanie, one of our planners, and she works with us, put together an awesome event. You know, I'm not a big birthday guy. I typically go to work on my birthday. You know, don't do a big to do, but I guess 50 was a big deal. My wife wanted to do something special, and it was beautiful. It was good. I got to see a lot of guys. I put a post up on Facebook. You know, just told anybody who was out there, come on down, hang out. We had a lot of people who just stopped by. And it was a fun night. I've been meaning to put up pictures.
I was going to say, did we get pictures back from the photographer yet, or
you weren't there? So it's on some kind of Google Drive. Like, you know, where's the old day where you handed me at least a thumb drive, man? It's on some Google Drive. I can't even get it off Google Drive to post some of the pictures. So tomorrow maybe you'll look.
If they send a link, you should be able to just download the pictures off of there.
They send you a link.
I hit download, it wouldn't work.
And then they got to request. They got to give you access.
They did, but it won't let me download all of them on my laptop. It wants me like to download them one at a time. I'm not downloading them all one at a time. I want to click on all of them and hit download, and it's not working. I'll show you tomorrow. But it was super nice, man. It really, really was. It was like this Moroccan marketplace theme. They had belly dancers. My family flew in. Friends I haven't seen in years had come in. A lot of the industry was there. A lot of our regular friends and patrons were there. It was just an overall beautiful night. We had the pausers. I mean, blew my mind. They flew from Alaska. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'm walking up like it's 7:00 and I see two people walking out the door, and it took like 30 seconds to click with me. I'm like, wow, that guy looks like Tom Pauser. And then I realized, oh my God, these people came all the way from Alaska. So, I mean, you don't forget stuff like that, man. It was an epic night. And it was beautiful. And I got some really like amazing gifts from, I mean, Nick gave me this awesome humidor and
got a lot of wine.
Got a lot of wine, got a lot of booze. Eric Espinosa gave me my first bottle of Pappy ever. So that was pretty cool. Never had a bottle of Pappy. So the problem with something like that is you just don't know when to crack it, you know?
Right. I mean, there will be a special occasion. You'll figure it out.
It was a beautiful night. We really, really had a good time. And kudos to my wife, who really put together a good thing. So it was cool.
Nice. It looks like you guys had a good time and all that. So I mean, the pausers will be in town for mine too. So it's gonna be lit, man. I'm excited, and you know, no gifts. I'm not a gift person. Just your present will be your presents. That's for anybody out there watching.
Present will be your presence. I like that.
Yeah, because you know I come from the bottom, so it's like I've never been like a big materialistic person. So just be there and you know turn up, have fun, support the shop, buy Rockefeller cigars, you know, buy drinks, tip your bartender, just have a good ass time. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and get off of here. Before we get off of here, though, make sure you check out thegreatsmoke.com for all the information regarding to The Great Smoke. If you have not gotten your ticket, this is me telling you, you better get your ticket because it's going to be awesome. You know, for the pre-parties, there's no ticket required. So if you're a local person, you could go to the pre-parties and all that.
We get a lot of people who come, we get a lot of people who come to the store events who don't attend the Great Smoke. I mean, the store events are just a public,
absolutely
open to the public.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good time. Starting on Wednesday with my party, then the pre-parties, and the Red Meat Lovers Club dinner, then the Great Smoke, then the brunch. It's gonna be an awesome weekend. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys for coming on the show tonight, and it's been a fun time and great time catching up. And anything else you guys wanted to add before we go?
Nope. I just want to, well, I'll let Alex say something after me if he wants, but I just want to say thanks for having us on, talking about the Great Smoke. My man Alex, I was having a major tooth problem yesterday. He was on standby because I wasn't sure. I was texting you from the dentist's office. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to talk or be on this night. I had to go to emergency at about 3:30, 4 o'clock today. My man Alex was ready, but I'm just going to tell you something. I got a new nickname for you, Mike.
What's that?
It's going to be Painless Mike, because this was the most painless show I've done probably in the last 6 months. We're out in less than 60 minutes. Holy cow, you are now painless.
My show lasts anywhere from like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. You know, I didn't have it wasn't like last year where I had all these special guests planned and all that. I'm like, I don't need all that this year. I can't really top that.
If I do a show with Coop and it starts like at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I tell my wife good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because Coop's like on for like 3 hours.
Oh, brutal. Brutal,
4 hours.
brutal,
Please.
painless Mike.
And that's only because I didn't have any notes because I know we could flow well. So if I have notes generally, but if we have the topic to talk about, I'm just gonna freestyle it. So
Yeah, no, it was good. We covered everything we need to. If you're out there and you haven't got your ticket and you're coming, you got time. There's still a good amount of the general admission tickets left. If you're somewhere in the country and you're thinking about getting a virtual ticket, telling you this will probably be the last week. After this, it won't be available. So I wouldn't waste time on that one.
awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and thank you Abe and the Goat for
Thank you.
coming on the show. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new to this channel. And you guys have a good night. Peace out. One